Welcome back to Bee Loft by Liptech. Today is Wednesday, April 16th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 58 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 degrees Celsius. You can see we got a lot of bees flying around right now. I'm kind of blocking the entrance here. We're in the backyard apiary. We're going to check these two hives. We're going to look for queen cells. Hopefully there's not any yet because I don't want the bees swarming yet or swarming at all. If there are queen cells, I'll make a couple splits and we'll go from there. Please stay tuned and we'll keep on going. So before I get into the hives, I do like to look, and you can see there's pollen on that one bee there. A couple more. You can see the yellow pollen going in there. I try to get a good view of the bees before, and there's some orange pollen. That's good. And this is the first hive closest to the fence. So let me back out here, tilt this up, and I'll pop this open and we'll get in here. Got my smoker ready. I always give them a little bit of smoke. I try not to smoke them too much because I don't want to interfere with them that much. And if they're calm bees, you really don't need to smoke them. But there's always that chance that they do get a little testy. But they're really busy today. It's such a nice day. Let me pop this open and we'll get to it. Okay, so I'm popping this open. We had some bees up here on the inner cover. I don't have one of those little screens on like I normally do. That's okay. And there's lots of bees. Good population. There's a couple hive beetles here. 3, 4. Get rid of those real quick. So only 4. Oh, there's a couple more over here. Hive beetles don't like the daylight. They like living in the dark. There's a few more. I'm going to slide along here gently, not to mess with the bees too much, but get these hive beetles out in the open. And you can see how many bees we have along here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all the way across. So it's a pretty full box. I'm hoping that the bees are, I hope the queen's laying down below and the bees are packing some honey up top here. Oh yeah, see, still got lots of hive beetles in this hive. Holy cow, look at all those hive beetles. That's just a ton of beetles. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. I'm going to pause you for a moment and get back to you in a minute as I crush these beetles. Okay, I've killed a ton of beetles. Took a second frame out and found even more beetles. So I'm eliminating them slowly. It's kind of getting stuck to the bottom there because they're starting to build some crosscomb, I think. Oh yeah, there's some crosscomb there. Some drones on the bottom. You can see right there we got some drone brood. We got a little bit of brood right there. So what I'm going to do here is put this right back in. Put beetle on my veil. Crack this next one. So the queen still is laying up here a little bit. See if we can get these. Probably going to put a queen excluder on top of this and put some comb on top. There we go. Still got the queen laying here. There's some nice brood. There's a couple more hive beetles, not a lot. There's some good brood right there. We got some pollen on top there. So yeah, we're right in the middle of our brood nest here. So let me set this back down. Let's get down into the next box. Oh my gosh, this has a lot of weight to it. Well, that's a good amount of honey. But you can see I cracked into their drone brood right here. And I just squished a whole bunch of it. Good thing is I don't see any mite larvae, and we're at the purple eye stage is what they call that there. If you can, where am I at here? There you go. Yeah, they're starting to get their eyes are starting to change. Let's see if I can get one of these larvae. That's what you got there. I wish I had some chickens. But that's for the future. Down at the property. And this looks like some pretty healthy larvae in there. So now this one they could still draw some more out. We got a couple queen cups right here. So right here we got these queen cups, and they look like they're empty. Yeah, this queen's still laying really well. All this larvae, cap brood, emerging brood. I do not see any queen cells. I don't want any queen cells right now. It looks like we got a lot of brood down here too. Let me pull this third frame out and get inside here. Oh, goodness. I'm just going to put this back together. There's your brood. Lots of it. Looking great. Actually, I'm going to pull one more frame. Great on both sides here. So let me pull one more frame just to verify my curiosity. Another hive beetle walking around. Yeah, this hive is doing really well. Probably ready to split in a couple weeks when I get back to it. I said it's April 16th. Yeah, so we got emerging brood here, and on this side we got some larvae up here at the top. So I think we got some shiny cells. Let me get my magnifying glass and check what's going on here. It's a good day. Yep, we got some shiny cells for the Queen Delayan. I'm not seeing her on this one. I'll have to find her another day. This isn't a queen finding day. If I spotted her, I'd try to mark her. So the next hive, I would say, is a pretty hygienic hive because they're pulling out some beetle larvae, or not beetle larvae. They're pulling out some brood. So we want to check on that. I've been trying to breed, like other people, the hygienic bees to get rid of the mites. Smoke on this corner here, and I think I'm getting closer to having some pretty hygienic bees. So let me show you this over here. Take you off the stand, and you can see, I didn't notice it earlier, I was standing on it, but these are all larvae, and the bees are pulling them out this next hive. So I'm going to pause you now and get into the next hive. This video is starting to run a little long, so I'll get back to you shortly. Okay, I just popped this other hive, and inner cover has ants on it already, so that's not going to be good this year. Lots of ants. I'm just going to brush those off and get rid of them. But you can see, but I have this is the one I have the seal on it, so I'm probably going to take that off and let the bees patrol it and see how that does. That usually does a pretty good job. So be right back. Okay, so there's something about this hive that the bees did not like, or this brood, and they got all this dead brood that they drug out, and they're still pulling it out of the hive. So I don't know if there was a cold freeze that they didn't keep it going or what, but who knows. But I'm going to take this bottom box off and reduce this down to 2 deeps and a medium, and let the bees grow from there and see what happens. Check back on them in 2 weeks. It's not building up that quick, but there is a lot of pollen in here, so this might be a hive that I just requeen once I raise some queens. So we'll see how it goes. Be back with you shortly. Okay, so to wrap this up, we ended up adding 2 supers to this hive. This is the dead out, and then this hive, I took a box off. It had too many frames, so I took the bad frames out, left some good frames in there that had pollen on them that the bees had already collected, and this should make for a stronger hive. They're still a little weak, but eliminated some beetles, added more beetle traps to both of these. A lot of beetles this year. So I'm just going to get my salt and vinegar mix and start spraying that on the ground. Hopefully that will keep the beetles from emerging. A lot of people say to use, I can't think of it, something for grubs. Grub-X, I think, yeah, that's it, Grub-X. And that should help with the beetles too, but kind of reluctant to use something like that. So I don't want to harm the bees. It is a chemical. So we'll see how it goes. I still have to try those shop towels, put those in top, so I need to go buy those. Those are those blue shop towels. Checking the 3 hives out here at the garden apiary, trying to get to all 5 apiaries in the next week. Hoping to get down to the farm and the Madison apiary on Friday. I might have to wait until next week to get to the Danville apiary, the Mechanic apiary. But we got a lot of bees flying in right now here. With it being so late in the day, got a lot of bees out here on this plastic. I'll show you that in a little bit. Actually, probably just turn that around, and we're going to explore these 3 hives real quick. We can get a quick zoom in here. You can see all our bees flying right there. Some have a little pollen on them. This right hive seems to be doing the best from what I can tell right now, but we'll get into it. And then the bees, I see them over here. They were over here collecting water. Let me zoom back out, sorry. And they're on top of this plastic, all this water on it. So it's a good water source for them. But let me set you up right here, and we'll get into this first hive. I don't know how much I'm going to show you today, just because I'm just trying to do a quick check. It's getting late in the day. I got something I have to go to tonight. But we got a lot of yellow pollen coming in, orange pollen, light yellow, darker yellow. So stay tuned. It's definitely time to get the sugar. What's left over, there's ants up in here on the Apamea hive. I'll clear that out, and we'll go from there. Well, hold on once. We got some ants flying on top of here. Looks like we had a good amount of bees. But there's a lot of little sugar up here, so we'll see how that goes. Let me pause you here while I clean this out. Trying to improve my camera work, give you guys a better show here. But you can see as I go nice and gentle over top of these bees. I haven't disturbed them too much just yet, but obviously they're not disturbed by me. You don't see them jumping off the hive. And if I do find a hive that is doing that here, I'll show it to you. This is the one that has the simple comb on the top here that I messed up last year and had the queen trapped up there. Somehow the queen got into it and laid some eggs, and I went to take it away and got it home, and luckily I found the queen, and the hive survived all winter, so I didn't screw up too bad. But I think she might still be laying up here. I don't know. Brought 3 supers with me, 1 for each hive. Eventually I'm going to split some hives here. I want to take 1 hive from each property down to my Brown County property that I bought. 44 acres down there up on a hill. It's looking pretty good so far. Oh yeah, we got a lot of brood up here. So I'm going to have to get the queen out of here at some point. It's like they're just starting to cap this right here in the middle. We got some brood on this side. I don't see the queen. So let's get on to the next frame. Good thing here is I don't see any hive beetles yet. I don't have a beetle. Well, I do have a beetle trap right there. Hard to see with the bees covering it. But I don't know what it is, but it seems like there's so many beetles this year. This hive's looking pretty good. Starting to put some pollen in the middle of this frame. Right in the middle there. I've got brood out on the edges. So, but kind of looking for the queen. I'm just hoping that she didn't make it to the top. I'm going to have to use a strap if I put another box on here, because I don't have my other Apame boxes at home. It's a deep, and I do need to get that on here. Oh, look at that. Queen's drawn. This is a strong queen. But yeah, they got nectar in the middle of this here, so I definitely should put a super on. Let me get one more frame, and then I'm going to go on to the next hive. This is I just want to make sure they're not swarming yet, or swarmy as they say. I had a hive here last year that swarmed, and the homeowner over here, the renter, Shane, he told me that, say, oh, there's a swarm over here. So that was on video last year. Yeah, it's all empty here in the middle, so this is good. But eventually I got to get this above a queen excluder, shake all the bees out of it, get the brood down below. Really don't like the bees to be laying in the supers. I don't mind not using a queen excluder to begin with, but then once the bees get it drawn like this and overwinters, I don't like to have the brood up here. I'd rather just have honey and be looking for the queen in one box, or in the deep boxes, I should say. I try to run 2 deeps. Let me pop down to the next one real quick. This queen's a great queen. I wouldn't mind grafting from this hive. It'd be great to, or make a split here in a couple weeks. Nice brood pattern. Next frame full of brood. I mean, that's just, you couldn't ask for anything better than that right there. I mean, all the outer edges are getting pollen in them. Looks like we got potential cell right here. Nothing in it yet, but that would be a supersedure cell more than likely. Usually the swarm cells are towards the bottom, but could be anywhere. So I'm just going to put this back together for now. Looks like our queen's doing well. And we're going to move on to the middle hive. Okay, so this hive isn't jumpy like I thought, but they are, the queen did fill up this comb with drone brood up top. So that's good, because it takes 24 days for a drone to develop from an egg. And that's an unfertilized egg, are all males. And so they don't have fathers, they have grandfathers. It skips like that. I thought that was pretty interesting when somebody said it that way to me. Female workers have dads. Drones have grandfathers, because it's an unfertilized egg. They just get it from the mother. So let's just take a look at another one here real quick. Yeah, they're starting to put some nectar up top here. So I'm going to put queen excluder on here. I think I have a queen excluder here. Hope I do. I think I have 2 underneath this next hive. And keep this super from getting brood in it, like it already has. because eventually the comb will darken, and it ends up ruining your, or ends up, it becomes a brood comb instead of a honeycomb. And I prefer to keep my honeycombs honey and my brood comb brood. First year, let them draw into it once, and then change it, get it out of there, get it above the queen excluder or above the honey band. Is cracked. It's got some good weight to it. Some big drones on there. I'll just do a quick assessment on this next box. I'm gonna have to get down to the middle here. Good thing is there's not too many beetles. I saw a couple up top there. This hive does a good job of controlling them. They corral them into the propolis envelopes. There are some beetles here. Got a few out here on the edge, and then we got a lot of pollen on the edge here, and then nothing on this side. So I might put this box on top of that other one, but I got to get to the middle here, make sure what our brood looks like, if there's brood in the middle or not. Fortunately, I'm using 3 different size boxes. I have deeps, mediums, and shallows, or an Illinois super they call them. It looks like the queen might be at the top here, but I cannot put a medium into the shallows. It's those are like 5 3/4 as opposed to like 6 1/4. Yeah, we got drone brood here, so I'm just gonna, you can see that, and then we got regular brood out on the edge here. So I'm going to go down to the next box. Looks like we got brood in the middle here. Yeah, let's go ahead and show you that real quick. Yeah, that's full up. I'll eventually get the queen down below. I'll do that on my next trip here. Make sure I have enough time. Another one with ants on top. Brush them off. I'm gonna have to get my cinnamon, put that on top. Like I said, I might take this little cap off and let the bees patrol up here. Some people say that's a good way to get rid of the ants, because if the bees are harassing them, they can't make a nest. So I'm just gonna get rid of all those. So 2 out of the 3 hives here had ants. This one over here, the middle one, was able to defend themselves because they have a little gap at the top, and they figured out how to get in and out. So I'm gonna wait. We'll see how that goes. But let's pop this box off. I don't have any queen excluders here, unfortunately. So I'm just gonna have to risk having a queen laying in the super. There's 1 beetle right there. 2, 3, 4, as you can see here, 5, 6, 7. Here's another one. Oh yeah, I got a few on this one, so hold on while I kill all those. Okay, so let's test this one here. Well, they seem to be ignoring me, so pretty good. I'm just going to do a quick puff of smoke here. See him scramble. And I'm just going to do a check on this hive. We're going to get over here to 3rd frame, pull this one out. Usually I do 2nd or 3rd frame. Alright, so we do have brood up here in this super, but we got a nice honey band started right across the top here, and we got brood down below. We got a potential queen cell development, queen cup here, right there. I'm just going to open that up and verify there's nothing in there. So, and then we had a couple drones on this side. They've drawn some extra comb, some burr comb at the bottom. So, that's okay. So we'll just set that to the side. Get into this next frame. Nothing real dire here today. Nothing exciting, extremely exciting. Just great strong hives. Oh, wow. Dripping brood here at the bottom. So you can see that. And I'll show you inside the hive here. But we got a nice nectar band forming. So I'm definitely gonna put a super on this one. So I brought 3 supers with me just to get me through the next couple weeks. But these bees could instantly fill a super in a couple days. And then you're out of luck, then you got bees wanting to swarm. If they have room, they won't swarm. Let's see if we can get down in there. Yeah, there we go. You can see I've drawn some burrcomb, and we got some brood on top of that. So I'm going to pop open here. Stay tuned. I'm going to give you a little close up here. You can see how this is the bottom of that medium. And you can see how we got some drone brood here drawn in between. A lot of bees, and then we go up here and you can see all the bees filling it. And this is a box with 2 deeps, so not noticing any mites on these drones, but let me smoke it off here real quick. Gone to handheld instead of the tripod, so bear with me. But I don't see any mites on these drones. They're probably about halfway through their development. Looks like they were capped off, some of them. These ones right here are a little early, and then these over here are the older ones. As you can see, more development. They probably had another 8-10 days to go here. I mean, looks like we got eyes developing on that one right there. So, all right, stay tuned. I'm probably going to wrap this up after this. Okay, so we're 5 frames into this hive. And you can see we got brood emerged out here. And they're starting to fill in. That means they're kind of like run out of space. So by putting that super on top, that's going to help a lot. So it's called backfilling. You got the brood that emerges, and then they backfill into that. You can see the gloss a little bit right on that side, right in here. So we got a lot of brood in here. So these boxes are looking really good. I definitely need to keep my eye. Come back in a couple weeks. Let's scrape this one off real quick. You can see all these bees here. So I got a little up here at the top, and I just scrape that off real quick. Get rid of the excess brood and burrcomb. And that's just an easy spot for the bees to draw. The queen's looking to lay some drones. If she can't find a cell to lay it in, the bees will find a way to make it. So they end up building what's called bridge comb in between the boxes, especially if you have too much space. They'll build up quite a ways down. So this is looking really good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a super on all 3 of these, and we'll come back probably in about 2 weeks. Sunday's Easter, and then following weekend I should be able to get back into them, if not the following week after that. And should be pretty exciting. Here, beekeeping, starting the new yard at the property. What I'll do is I'll take a queen from each one of my locations here, let these requeen themselves, especially if there's swarm cells, and then I'll move on. Get the bees going out at the property. I'll have all 5 different genetics, find out which one I like the best, and develop it from there. That's what I've been doing over the years. So, but yeah, you can see the big tarp out here. Gets water on it when it rains. We had a tornado come through the town 2 weeks ago. Messed up a few things. You could see it on the news. It actually made the national news. So I was out of town when it happened, but my wife was at home. Everyone was safe. I don't think anybody got killed. A lot of people lost a lot of, a lot of roofs and a lot of property damage, but I think everybody made it out alive. I didn't hear of anyone losing their life to it. But again, bees are looking great. I'm going to put extra super on all these boxes, and really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks for watching Bee Loft by Liptech, and we'll see you on the next video.